is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and I am back with a May I Scraplift You. So this is a series that we do on Saturdays where Moira, Sandy, Alex, and I get inspired by some layout from some person, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or Pinterest, any layout that you see that you want to scrap lift. And so today I am scrap lifting Kikiscrapsalot over on Instagram. So her link will be down below. And we all scrap somebody different. So it's always fun to see who is scrap lifting who, and then you find more inspiration. I know I do when I see who they're scrap lifting, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I need to scrap lift that one too. So it's super fun. I am using my Kikit for the month of October, which is basically the hoarding of my Maggie homes. And for this layout, I am going to use the open book collection, and I am going to use a pattern paper background. So I am definitely a pattern paper kind of girl. I love pattern paper. I do like a white, but most of the time if I do a white background, I'm going to mat it with a piece of pattern paper. And that's just me. So what I am doing is I am focusing on, Kiki has like layers of paper and embellishments on the top and on the bottom. It's heavier on the bottom because that's where her photos are, and she has 2 photos. So I am going to try to replicate the same thing. So I went through the paper pad and I pulled a lot of branding strips as well as some scraps. And what I'm going to do is I am just going to layer them all up. And they're going to be staggered, and they're not really wonky. I was going to say wonky, but they're not really wonky. They're pretty straight, but they kind of alternate. And so I am just going to keep layering. I decide that like the branding strips need to like go under something. I'm trying to decide, how long I want the strips. And I was like, okay, that's pretty good for the top. Let's see what we can do for the bottom. It's not the same per se, but I would say it's close. It does layer up similarly. Is that a word? I think it is. But not the same. So once I get kind of the idea of where these are going to go, and you can kind of see how my brain was working, I do go off screen and glue all of them down. So before I decide that I have everything that I need as far as layers, I'm going to trim down my photos. So these are 2 photos of my son at one of the golf tournaments, the only golf tournament we've actually went to see. So I'm just trying to figure out the size, because I do in Kiki's layout, you can definitely tell they are smaller photos. So I am trying to trim these down, and we were quite far away, and I didn't zoom terribly in, so I am able to cut it down. There's a lot of, blank sky, and there's a lot of grass, because obviously we're at a golf course. So I can trim them down a lot more. I don't tend to print photos in a smaller size, I do tend to cut them down. Most of the time I print the majority of them in 4x6. Every once in a while I will do 2x3 because I can put 2 photos on one 4x6. And then occasionally if Shutterfly has any sort of deals, I will do their 4x4. But for the most part, I print 4x6 and then trim down accordingly. Okay, so I matted my photos in the same paper as one of the layers. I have gone off screen and stuck down all of my layers. And now I am going to use the sticker sheet, and I am going to use several stickers from this sheet, which is super exciting. And I have the tags and I have the ephemera for this, and the chipboard. I kind of actually have 2 chipboards. So I believe that I kill the chipboard, one of the chipboards, so I'm only down to 1. So that's super exciting. That piece of ephemera says City Park Festival, but I just tucked it behind the photo, so all you see is the city park, which is really kind of cool because this is a city, this is a city field. It's not some fancy private golf course or anything like that. So as you can see in Kiki's, she has this like cascade of splatters and some clouds and that type of thing, all coming down to kind of connect the two. So that is what I am going to do with all of these chipboard pieces. They are just going to basically cascade their way down to connect the two. And like I said, I'm going to get every single piece. So here I'm going to pop them all out because I've decided I'm going to just kill this, and I was feeling so good, and then I remembered, of course, that I had another one. I do get some little animals on here. One is a rabbit, and a couple of them are deer, which I could probably rationalize, but that lion head that I put on here, yeah, I can't rationalize that. Oh, I guess I don't get the glasses or that wreath on, but that's okay. I get everything else on, and I really like it. I think it's a great way to use up some supplies. Here I am thinking, oh, I can just get that frame on there, but it will end up somewhere. No doubt about it. So anyway, that is pretty much my layout. Make sure that you head to this description box. There will be a link to Kiki's Instagram, so you can head over and give her some love. And there will be links to Moira and Alex and Sandy, so you can see who they are scrap lifting today. It's always fun to see who's scrap lifting who and their take and how they make it their own, because that's kind of the fun thing about scrap lifting, is you can kind of see how mine looks like hers, but it's definitely a my layout. So that's going to do it. Remember to wear your crown, and we'll see you next Saturday. Bye.